Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to the iSpring Solutions workshop series that is called How to Get Your E-Learning Course Off the Ground. I'm really happy to welcome you here today, guys, because this will be our second workshop which will be dedicated to iSpring Quizmaker. So, since this is a workshop, you are more than welcome to repeat after our presenter. If you feel you can't keep up, don't worry. I will be sending the recording as soon as it's ready. I have also provided you with the resource files before the webinar, so you're more than welcome to use it during this session. Also, we highly encourage you to reserve the whole hour of your time for this type of workshop. We just want to make sure that you guys have enough time to keep up with our presenter and repeat all the steps to be able to produce great quality content. All right, so my name is Paulina. I'm a community manager and I will be the webinar moderator today. And let me please introduce our presenter. His name is Eugene, and he's a Senior Technical Support Engineer. Hello, Eugene. How are you doing today?
Hi, Paulina. I'm fine, thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you will enjoy our workshop.
Thank you very much, Eugene. So Eugene has been working in technical support for a while now, but this is his first workshop. Last time that was Sophia, and today Eugene is going to present for you. So I hope you guys can share some support for him. And also, thank you very much to all of you who shared their feedback about our first workshop. We tried to implement it for today's session, and we do hope that you guys will enjoy it. As always, you are more than welcome to submit your questions during the presentation itself and also during the Q&A session. And you may do that by sending them in the question box, and you may find it on the right side of the GoToWebinar panel. During the presentation, I have invited Sophia to take care and address your questions. Hi, Sophia. Thank you very much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hello everyone, thank you for asking, Paulina. I'm doing great, and you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking as well. And okay, so I think at this point we are ready to begin. However, I see that in the chat we receive some messages that guys are trying to, that they are getting an error message that they can't download the resource folder. So at this point, let me try and share it one more time while Eugene is beginning his presentation. Eugene, let me make you the presenter.
Thank you, Paulina. Just a second.
And I will take care of the link at the moment.
Okay. So, first of all, could you please let me know if you can hear and see me okay? So, one more time, hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. So if something goes wrong during the presentation, please let us know in the question box on the right side of the GoToWebinar panel. Today I'm happy to see you at our second workshop dedicated to iSpring Quizmaker. So, iSpring Quizmaker is a tool that helps you to create quizzes to assess your learners' knowledge and survey to collect data and feedback from your learners. It is available as a standalone application which does not require PowerPoint or any other product to be installed. If you want, you can use a quiz separately from your presentation. So an iSpring Quizmaker is also available as a part of iSpring Suite 8. This icon is right here. So, and in this case, it lets you add quizzes directly to your presentation slides and add vitality to your e-learning. With iSpring Quizmaker, you can create quizzes like this one. Just a second. We have this quiz uploaded to our site. So we click on Start Quiz. There is the info slide. Then answer questions. There is multiple choice and there is another multiple choice. Okay, here is numeric then info slide, another multiple choice. Now winter, then hotspot, there is multiple response. We need tomatoes, milk, and cheese. Then there is fill in the blanks. And there is the last matching. Great. So, and today we will learn how to create a quiz like this, one with branching, check the quiz result, and see how to use a number of interesting big and small features of iSpring QuizMaker. We shared the resource folder with you. This folder contains pictures, a video, and a Word file with text. Let me show you. So here is our pictures, then a video, and our Word file. I'm going to hide this. Okay, great. So if someone would like to download it, you can do so using the link that Polina will share in the chat right now. So to allow you some time to download the course and the resource folder, Polina, could you please launch the poll question?
Sure, just allow me one moment, please.
Of course.
Okay, guys, we will ask you to participate in our poll really quickly one more time and let us know how you're planning to participate in this webinar. You will be repeating what's shown on the screen after our presenter, or you will be just watching, or if for some reason you will need to leave before the end, so you will review this webinar later after you receive the recording link as soon as it's ready. So I will allow a couple of moments for you to take the vote, and it looks like almost everyone has voted. And so far, we see that 70% will be just watching. However, 25% will be repeating what's shown on the screen. So Eugene, please make sure that everyone is able to do that.
Of course I will. Thank you, Polina.
Okay, and I just wanted to quickly mention that in order to start repeating after Eugene, you just need, for those who already have the license, you just need to launch iSpring product, iSpring suite. All right, so at this moment, I will close the poll question. Thank you everyone who voted. And Eugene, you're more than welcome to continue.
Okay, thank you, Polina. Great. Let's go ahead and get started with the main topic. Here is the quiz on slide 18. Let's delete this quiz and create a new one from scratch. So we select this slide, push delete button, and I already have a prepared slide. So in order not to waste time filling out all the questions with information one by one, we are going to recreate two question groups with some question types. So we click on quiz button, select Reddit quiz, and here it is. Firstly, it is important to create the title of our quiz. The intro slide will help us to attract learners' attention. So we click on the intro slide. In the intro slide header, let's enter quiz. Great. And in the description, let's go to our resource folder, open our Word file, and copy the description of intro slide. Then we go back and paste it. Great. So, since we have such a delicious topic, let's add a matching background. There are two modes to edit information in iSpring QuizMaker. The first is form view and the second is slide view. In the form view, you handle all the question mechanics. For example, you can enter question and answers, add media objects, change the feedback and the default options, etc. In the slide view, you can take care of the visual side of your quiz. So first, let's add a background, and I recommend you to use the slide view because it automatically adjusts a background picture to the slide size and send it to back. So there is no extra moves on your side. So we click on Format Background, go to Picture Field, then select Picture From, and click on the File button. Here we select Intro Slide, Picture 1. Great, and now just by one click, we have a great background. So we should also change the text color to white so it will be easier to see the text on this background. So we select our text box, then go here, it's a font and select white. Let's perform the same for this text box. Now, let's move this text box and we can also align text to the left for both two text boxes. And now let's move it somewhere here. Great. So now let's go back to the form view to start editing questions. In iSpring QuizMaker, you can create several question groups. Question groups help you to check your learners' knowledge in more detail. You will always know what area of knowledge is a weak point for certain students and where they are quite good. And therefore, you will have more flexibility in changing your course according to your learner's success. We can see that one group is added by default. In our case, we will have two groups. So now we will create the second group. So firstly, we click here and click on question group. Here it is. So let's rename the first group. The first group will be cheese. We click here and type in cheese. Great. Now let's go and rename question group 2. Perform the following steps, but here we enter recipes. Great. So now it will be easier for us to navigate through the quiz. So we select the group 1, and to logically separate our question groups, let's add intro slides to the beginning of each group. We will do that by adding info slide. Info slides can contain any information that will help you students pass the quiz and learn new material. So we select question group where we will place items like questions, info slides, etc. And we click on info slide. Great. Now let's go back to our Word file and copy the header of this info slide. Go back to QuizMaker and paste it. Great. Now let's add a picture to our info slide. So we go to this picture tab and click on insert picture. Now let's select info slide 1 and open. So here is a little life hack. When inserting a picture in the form view, it will let you add a picture directly to our code, and your learners will see it even when viewing on mobile devices. So we go to the slide view. Oh, our picture is too small for the background, so let's enlarge it. Great. And let's also move our text box and change it a bit. So we can also select our text and center it. And let's crop this picture. We just right click on it, select crop, and we select our frames, something like this. Then click on the slide. Great. Now let's move on to adding questions. In iSpring QuizMaker, there are 11 graded questions and 12 survey questions. The main difference is that in the graded questions, your learners will get scores, and survey questions are mostly used for collecting info. The first question is the most common one for the majority of quizzes. It is a multiple choice. So to add this question, we click on graded question and select multiple choice. So now let's go copy the header and paste it right here. And we will also copy our answers. Summer, winter, and any season because it doesn't affect the color. The correct answer is winter, so we select it right here. Good. So now let's enter a picture. Click it right here, select multiple choice, and open. Now go to the slide view, and let's move our text a bit and change the size of our picture. By the way, as you can see, here we have a white stripe. So we can also get rid of this white stripe just by crop this picture. Let's change it right here. Right click on it, select crop, and select the frames. Something like this. Great. Now click on the slide. Perfect. So after a quite common question, let's try adding a more visual and creative graded question. It's called hotspot. Students should click on the correct area or several areas on an image. As usual, to add this question, we click on graded question and select hotspot. So now we go back to our Word file and copy the header. Great. As our students have to click on an image, we need to add this image. So we click on choose image and select hotspot. Great. Now we should set a hotspot where our students have to click. Select a rectangle and now put this rectangle on the correct area. Somewhere here. Great. After each question, you can provide a feedback message. You can use either the default feedback or add a custom one. To add your own feedback, we'll do the following. So we select our question, then go to feedback and branching tab. Click on feedback option and select by question. So now let's go back to our Word file and copy the feedback here. For the correct, we will have this one. And for incorrect, we will have this one. Great. So we explain why our students was wrong and how to answer correctly. And please do not forget to click on the save button right here to keep our progress safe and sound. Besides feedback by question, we can also add feedback by answer. Let's add another multiple question by clicking on graded question and selecting multiple choice. Now let's copy our header and then we copy our answers. So the right answer here is cheeses. Great. And now let's insert a picture. Click on Insert Picture and select Multiple Choice 2. Go to Slide View, and now let's just put it right here and just enlarge it a bit. Great, such a tasty picture. View and set the branching by answers. So we need to go to the Feedback and Branching tab. Select Branching by Answers. And as you can see, the feedback column appears next to the answers. So just click on the feedback next to every answer and enter a custom feedback. So we will copy correct feedback. As far as we have only one right. Sorry, I have a branching. We're going to select feedback by answer. Here is the feedbacks. So let's select the correct and paste it. Now the incorrect. And we pasted both for our two incorrect answers. Good. So now I suppose we can preview these feedbacks. Let's go to our preview. If we click here, we can select if we would like to preview the whole quiz, the whole group, or only one question. Let's preview this question. And let's select cheeses, submit. Congrats, that's correct. By the way, we can also hide this feedback by clicking on it. And we also can enlarge any picture by clicking on it. Good. We can click on refresh and try the wrong variant. For example, salads. There is the incorrect feedback. Let's close it and go on. Now let's try a different type of question. It is matching. This question type is also easy to create, just like the previous questions. In this question, we need to match the omelette types and their origin countries. Let's go to our familiar form view, then click on graded question and select matching. So let's copy the header, paste it here. So the first will be our origin country. The first is Italy. And the match to this, our omelette, is a frittata. Copy here. Then the second country is Spain. And it is tortilla de patatas. That matches Spain. And the last one is Japan. And the match is omurice. Great. In the actual question, those matches will be shuffled. So here we just entered the right correct matches. So now, I suppose we need to insert the background. As usual, we go to the slide view, click on Format Background, then Picture Fill, Picture From, click on the File button, and select Matching, Picture 6. As you can see, we have a dark text. So we select it, go to the font colors, click on this arrow, and select white. And also we can center our text. Great, it looks just wonderful. So, by the way, we can also we have as another small tip for you. You can apply a custom background like this to all slides. Just we need to go to Format Background. We just selected our picture and click on Apply to All. And as you can see, the custom background will be applied to all the slides that we have in our quiz. So this option is quite convenient if you would like to save time. However, in our case, there is no need to do this because the main so we push Ctrl Z to cancel this action. Great. So this question is quite complicated, so it's fair enough if we allow partial answers. To do this, we go to the option type. First of all, we go to the form view, then we go to the options tab. Then we uncheck use default options and check allow partial answers. So I think that's all for this group. So let's move on to the next group, recipes, by clicking on it.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but before you move on to the next group, could you please preview the hotspot question? Meaning, could you please show how it works after?
Okay, of course. So we go to the hotspot, and as usual, we will use only one question. So we preview only one question. So which is Parmesan? If we click here to the right hotspot, we can click on clear if we are not sure because we can put several spots. We click on clear, then we decide this and submit. So this is the feedback, good job. Then refresh, and for example, we will select this one. It's incorrect, and we have this full description why we answer it wrong. So, and we can also try to select this and this. And we will also have the incorrect answer. So,
and can you also select several areas on the picture for the correct answers, for example?
Sure. So, for example, if we have several answers, we add another, for example, all, and we can put it here. Then let's go to preview it. And if we select only one variant, we will have an incorrect feedback. But if we select both these hotspots, we will get a correct feedback. This is the correct answer.
And does each hotspot has to be of a different shape?
No, you can put the same shapes or different. It's up to you. So it depends on the picture, for example.
Okay, got it. And can you allow partial response on hotspot question?
No, of course you can allow partial answers, just like going to options, uncheck the default options, and check on allow partial answers. Let's check it. So we go to preview. As now we can have both these cheeses. Click on this and submit. So it's partially correct. So your answer was almost right.
Thank you very much, Eugene. And at this point, I would like to ask you guys, our attendees, if it's okay. I mean, if you can keep up with what Eugene is presenting on the screen in a normal fashion. Could you please let us know in the comments section if he's not too fast, or maybe he needs to repeat something one more time, if it's a good flow of the webinar?
Yeah, it will help me a lot.
Yes, so we got the sum of responses. I can keep up because I've used the Quizmaker before. It's very helpful and clear. Yes, it's fine, doing fine, good speed. It's a little fast if you want to follow along. I'm following quite easily. All good for me, thank you. So far, the pacing here is much better than the previous webinar. Yeah, we were trying to make it a little slower than the first time. Okay, good speed, good flow. Okay, so if you guys can't follow some of the um, whatever Eugene is doing on on the screen, don't worry. We will be sending the webinar recording, so you will be able to repeat all the steps at your own pace as soon as the webinar recording is ready. Okay, so thank you very much for providing the feedback, Eugene. Please continue. Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you, Paulina. Now we close the preview and let's go on. So as I said, on to the second group, recipes. So we just need to click on it. So all the questions and info slide, we'll put it right here. Okay, let's add an intro slide again. Click on info slide. So let's go to our Word file, copy our header, then go back to our Word file and copy the description. Great. So now let's insert picture, info slide 2, go to the slide view, and let's change it a bit. Just like the same, we enlarge our text box just to have a more free space for picture. Let's center it. And let's enlarge our picture. Now let's right click on it and crop it. Just like a previous time. And click on the slide. I think this picture look just wonderful. Okay, next we add a fill in the blank question which gives your learners a choice. However, your learners have to put an answer in every blank of this question. So we go to the form view, we click on graded question and select fill in the blank. Now we will just leave this header, fill in the blank fields below. However, we need to, let's copy our header. And we will also copy the details. What we're going to put in the detail fields is our question text. So to add a blank, click on the insert blank. So we can put here. However, I recommend that you highlight the words which are going to replace with a blank. So we just delete this blank. And in our case, it will be omelette. We just highlight it and put on insert blank. I think it's much more convenient for you to use this method. Then we also select fried eggs, click on insert blank. Then we select scrambled eggs and perform the same. Great. So now we are going to insert our background and As you know, we go to the slide view, click on Format Background, Picture From, File, and select our picture 8, fill in the blank. Great. Now we also need to change the text color to white, both for the header and for text. Great. So here it is. Oh no, I think I mixed up some questions. Oh no, it's okay. There is only one question, and as I see, I suppose that matching is more suitable for recipes. So let's fix this. We go to the form view. So we select our matching question. We just drag it and drop right here after fill in the blank. Finally, everything is in the right position. Of course, we don't need to use these particular question types. You can use any available question type, which is the most appropriate for your learning purposes. And don't forget to save our presentation just to keep it safe and sound. Now I'm going to take some more in case you want to add some of them to your quiz. Now let's create another separate group and let's rename it to user feedback. Good. And we will also set the quiz branching. We will work together with the survey questions. So first of all, we need to ask if our learners liked our quiz, and we won't need to grade this question. So we just go to the survey question and select yes, no, because this question can help to solve our task. So let's type in, for example, did you like the quiz? And keep the same answer choices, yes and no. If the learners liked our course, we will send them to an info slide and thank them. So let's create the thank you slide. We add an info slide. Then we can insert a video as a bonus. We have one in our resource folder, so we go to the video tab and click on insert video. Now let's open our resources, and there in the main folder we have Perfect Omelette by Jamie Oliver. Let's open it. Okay, now let's go to the slide view. Let's put it somewhere in the center, and then we can also type here, thank you. We wish you luck. So let's change the box and let's center our text. Great. This time we are not going to experiment with the background pictures, we'll just add a simple gradient. To do this, go to the Format Background, but this time we're going to select Color Fill, Gradient. Here we can change colors. For example, the first color will be this and the second color will be this. We click on OK and we can select some variation, something like this. Great. So this is for if our students answer it yes. If the learners answer it no, they didn't like our quiz, we need to ask for their opinion in order to improve our quiz in the future. In this case, the best way to get the user's opinion is to add an essay question. So let's go to the form view, then click on the survey question and select essay. So let's go back to our Word file and copy the header. Let's change it a bit. So we will ask, could you please leave your opinion about the quiz? So here it is better to leave a white background because on the active answer field, you can see it right here. Good. So all we need to do in the feedback settings is to set the branching. So we go to the form view, then we select our yes or no slide, go to the feedback and branching, and select branching by answers. And so if the answer is yes, we select here next to the yes answer our thank you file, our thank you slide, excuse me. So if the answer was no, we select branch to a slide. Great. So you also need to set branching for the thank you slide. So we click on the thank you slide, where is branching by question, and we select finish quiz. Because if you don't set this option, the students that answered yes after the thank you slide will go to the essay, and we do not want to do this. We just want to finish our quiz. So I think that's all for branching for now, and let's move on to the next topic. So as I said, we can add pictures, audios, video, but we can also add our voice, our audio voice to the question feedback. So let's go back to one of the questions. And for example, hotspot, we have a feedback here. By the way, if you select in options allow partial answers, you can also change the partial feedback. So let's go to the feedback and branching tab. Select, for example, correct feedback and click on the edit feedback button. So if you have a prepared audio, you can simply insert it right here. However, if there is no prepared audio, you can record it right here by clicking on this. Let's check it out. Good job. Great, we can listen. Fine. And every question can have such audio feedback. Your learners will hear this feedback after they push the Submit Answers button. You can also easily edit this audio, which we recorded right now, in clicking by Edit Audio button. Then the iSpring Audio Editor will open, and after you're done your editing, click on Save and Close button. Now let's click on OK and move on. Okay, let's continue. When we get a learner's feedback, we don't know who exactly left it, but in iSpring, it is possible to know that. So let's go to the properties. It's right here. Then main tab, and go to quiz taker info and check ask for quiz taker information. Then click on customize button. So then we select the mandatory fields which we would like to ask our students. For example, I will choose name and email. This is the fundamental data that needs to be collected because we need to contact our learners after they take the quiz. So click on OK. As long as we here in the quiz properties, I'm gonna say a few words about these other features and options. In the main tab, you can set the number of points which your learners will get here. And you can also set the time limit and attempts limit. You can change the feedback. We have seen the feedback and we can select title or text, title only or none. And all the settings here will be applied to the whole quiz. Now let's switch to the navigation tab. There is a way to make your students to answer a question in a preset order. That means that they can proceed to the next question without answering and submitting the current one. In this case, select the Submit one question at a time option right here. And of course, we need to check Allow user to postpone questions if we need a strict limitations. So if you would like your learners to answer questions in any order, you need to select Submit. Okay. You can also set the number of question groups that will be used in your quiz. The question pool may include a sampling of questions either from one group only, or for example, we can take 2 groups out of 3, and each of these groups may contain only 2 questions out of 3 or out of 4. So that is a good example of how the customization works. In the question defaults is the next step. You can change the options that will be applied to each question by default. You can apply custom settings to each question. For example, attempts for every question, how many points, shuffle answers, default feedback, and other options. We also need to be sure that we will receive quiz results. So we go to the Result tab and choose Send quiz result to email. Please note that this option is handy if you want to use a quiz created in iSpring on your website, because usually you have all the info about your learners in your learning management system. So if you add this quiz or course on your website, you can add this option and the quiz reports will be sent to your email address regularly. So we need to type in an email where we would like to send the reports. I will use my gene@ispringnotions.com. And by the way, we need to copy this email because we should not forget to add this option in case of failure too. So we need to go to if user fails. It is important because if you switch on sending the results only for passing the quiz, all the failing students will slip through the cracks. So we just select send quiz result to email and copy our email here. So you will get a report with all your learners' answers, which will help you keep track of your learners' results without an LMS. Great, now click on OK. To add more interactivity to your quiz, you can use variables like username. So we need to go to our yes or no slide and let's type in our variable %user underscore name %. Let's put a comma and do this. So we need to type it all caps. By the way, if you use features like variables in your quiz, please note that in the preview mode, your quiz look like a little different than its published version. So we quickly publish our quiz. To do this, we go to the iSpring menu and click on Publish. Now click on Publish. We just need to wait a bit because as you can see we have a video. We need to convert this video, so it will take some time.
So, Eugene, while the quiz is publishing, I would like to ask you a very quick question from John Lin. Can you load 50 questions but let iSpring to randomly preset 25 questions? Randomize the quiz.
So thank you for the question. So to make it clear, as I understand it right, so we need to have 50 questions and we need to have only 25 of them, for example.
Yeah,
Yes?
randomly presented.
So let's just check our variables, and after this I will show it because we
Okay.
have a preview right now.
Thank you.
Okay, just a second. So we click on Start Quiz, and if we use ask for quiz takers info, we need to enter name and email. Submit. So let's go to our, and here it is, Eugene. So, and we will also check how our branching is working. So let's click on yes, submit, and we are redirected to our thank you slide with video. So now we need to republish it to select no, and we will see how it works with no. By the way, about the question. So, for example, we have 50 questions in, for example, one group. So we click on this group. Here we have question pool options, just like in properties. Then we select random questions, and we select, for example, only 2 questions out of 3. So, for example, if you have 50 questions here, you can select 25 out of 50. Something like this. And you can also perform this with groups. For example, it will be in different groups. So we select, and for example, we have 5 groups, and we have 10 questions in every group. So we select every group and type in, so if mathematics is 5, 5 out of 10. Then we need to go to properties. Then we need to go to the navigation, select random groups, and we need select all groups. So this every 5 questions from every group will be shuffled between them and between these groups.
So will all students see the same questions if 25 out of 50 is selected?
As I know, they will have a different question because it's totally randomized. So every attempt will be different.
Okay. Almost no way to cheat.
Yes, of course. This is the main purpose of our app. It's to get rid of cheating. I think it's wonderful for the teachers, especially as for me.
Right.
Okay, now let's. Thank you for the question. And now let's publish it one more time. So this time, after we have already converted the application is already converted our video. this time it will take less time. Great. So next time, this time I will do this with capital name, Eugene at iSpring solutions.com. Let's go to our yes no question. Let's click on no, submit, and we have our essay slide. We are redirected to this slide. Great. So when users finish our assessment or survey, they get to a special results slide with their score. This slide. Graded quizzes have two result slides, passing slide and failing slide. Surveys have only one result slide. If you don't want to display the result slide, you can hide it simply by unchecking the display slide option right here. But we need it. Okay, you can add a custom message to the results slide to encourage students who failed the first attempt or congratulate those who completed the quiz successfully. So we go into our Word file and we will copy the header for pass and the header for fail. So, and we can also check show results by groups for both result slides. So let's also insert our pictures as a background. So we go to the slide view, format background, picture from, file, pass, and for fail. So don't be afraid that, as you can see, this section is out of our slide. As we said in the preview and in this mode, the quiz, it's not looking as a published version. So after you publish this quiz, this slide will be adopted. So you just can go through it, and it will be in this on this slide. So great. Now, as we can see how our quiz interacts with our course. So we need to go to the form view and click on Save and Return to Course. So after we return to our course, go to the Presentation Explorer. It's right here on the iSpring Suite 8 ribbon. Click on it. There is our slide and there is our quiz. So let's click on it and select branching. It is the branching that helps to redirect our users to the right slide depending on the quiz results. If the quiz is passed, we can redirect to the next slide or even close window. And if the quiz is failed, we can easily send our user back to the previous slide. For example, slide 17, or at the very beginning of our presentation. So you can also set properties here. So we click on quiz and select properties. There are several options of viewing after passing quiz. So we can view slides after quiz at any time, after attempting quiz, or after passing quiz. So we can also use option allow user to interrupt the quiz because it's really useful. It lets your students stop at any question, close the quiz, and go back to any slide to revise the material. By disabling this option, you prevent users from cheating. And so, I suppose that's all for today. Go ahead and publish your quiz and click through it. And of course, we will speak more about presentation in our next workshops.
Thank you so much, Eugene. Was a great presentation, I believe, and we got a very interesting feedback from our today's attendees and also lots of questions. So if you guys would like, if you have another like 10 to 15 minutes, we would like to go over the questions that Sophia didn't have time to go over during the presentation. And we will definitely go over them, and they will be included in the recording. So you will be able to review them when you receive the recording, as soon as it's ready, of course. And there was one interesting comment before I move on to the questions that I think that was Robert who said that these sessions are great. It reminds me of all the things that iSpring can do. My only feedback is to do it monthly and not weekly. And I would like you guys to share what's the best way for you. What do you think would be the best way to present these sessions? What is the most preferable way for you to attend this session? The length of the session, what topics, like how many topics are covered during one session, how often should they be? We would appreciate every feedback. Okay, so while you are submitting your responses, your opinion, let's move on to asking questions. And Eugene, let me go. Move on to the first question from Lisa. What is the best way to show the correct answers on the matching?
Thank you, Lisa. So, could you please specify this question? Because, okay, let's go to the quiz. I suppose Lisa, she was speaking about showing the feedback.
She says that
right?
I find it difficult to list the matching correct answers if there are more than a few.
Oh, so you can add new matches just like here. You can use USA, UK, and something like this. Is it the problem? By the way, if you have any questions, you can also contact us by email, support@ispringsolutions.com or sales@ispringsolutions.com. Because sometimes it's difficult to explain some different scenarios, how we can set branching, for example, or question pools. And if you will let us know how you would like to represent your quiz, we will gladly assist you and recommend how to do it in the best way.
So more info on this question. From Lisa, I frequently have about 10 matching options, and then the feedback is difficult to show. And then we also have a response from Alice. I agree. So if a learner gets a couple of matches wrong, how do they know the correct answers?
Oh, now I see. So yes, we have only feedback for incorrect, correct, incorrect, and partial. And I believe that it's a good thing this is a good info and new feedback that we can forward to our developer team. Because, yeah, I suppose it's quite difficult. And the only thing is, for now, is typing the right matches. For example, Italy, frittata and Japan omurice, something like this. But thank you for this feedback. It's a really interesting thing because me as a support engineer, I never faced this problem before, this issue before. So thank you for this.
Thank you very much, Eugene. And the next question is from Sarah. When you make quizzes, do you recommend preparing a sheet with all of the quiz questions, or just start preparing the quiz within Quizmaker?
Thank you, Sarah, for your question. Now this time we have this special Word document just to represent this quiz on your computers or laptops. And if you just making a quiz for your students, there is no need to have a special list. You can just make it right here. After you save it and publish, let's do it right here. We're going to speak more about project folder in our next workshop, so your quiz will be saved. So you will edit it. However, you can edit this quiz file only in Quizmaker. So pay attention to it. If you will edit your quiz only on your computer where the Quizmaker is installed, it's okay. You just can put it here.
Thank you very much, Eugene. And I would like to add that it's always easier to collect all the information and decide what kind of questions you're going to ask your learners in the quiz and collect all the information in the Word document. And after you have all the information handy, all the pictures that you will need, it's very easy to decide what type of question would be better for this type of information. I mean, what type of question in Quizmaker would be best for this type of question in your Word document? I hope I made myself clear, but I just wanted to mention that.
Yes, it's wonderful if you have your own bank of information which you can insert in Quizmaker. So it's always depends on your information. So this tool there is no way how this tool can limit you.
Right.
Limits you. So there is only your info.
All right, thank you. Let's go to the next question from Alice. Is there a way to set a default font inside the Quizmaker?
Default font. So we go to the slide view. Alice, could you please specify your question? Because
I assume that Alice would like to have the same font across all questions in the Quizmaker for all.
Okay. As I said before, we can add a background for all slides. For example, we select. Let's select some slide. This one. Click Apply to All, and it will be applied to all. If you speak about these pictures that we insert from the form view, we need to insert it by our own. That means that we need to insert on every slide. So I suppose it also can be used like a feature request in our next version of iSpring Quizmaker.
Alice says no, the font for the question text and answer text, not pictures.
Oh, so for the text, let's just. So of course you can. Oh, I understand. You need to change the font for all the quiz. So if we select here, for example, something like this, you need to change the font on every slide.
Right, so we can't set the default font for every slide. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But maybe this could be a good feature request.
Yes, so every your question, if we don't have a good option for you, a good solution for you, feel free to contact us and we will redirect all the data, all info to our product development team. They will be happy to have these ideas, just not thinking about something that just they think is good for you. This is your own opinion, what we should add to our product.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the next question from Hisil Martinez. The comments like username, where can we get it?
Sorry, Pauline, could you repeat, please?
Yeah, the comments like username, where can we get it? So are there any other commands like this one? And can they insert
You mean variables, yeah?
variables? Yes, thank you.
Okay, we can go to the iSpring quiz maker and just wait a second. So, just wait a second. We can, I just show you one of the examples. However, you can, and we will provide you to the variables. Unfortunately, I don't have a list of this right now. And in general,
there is no built-in list. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, there is. They are separate from. There is no information in the quiz maker. We have this info, and you just need to contact us, and we will send you a list of variables.
Oh, okay.
Because it depends on the information which you will take. By the way, I'm so sorry. You can use the variable right here. I'm so sorry, I just forgot about it. So we go to Properties, Main tab, Quiz Taker Info. The variables will work only with this option, Ask for Quiz Taker Information Checked. Click on Customize, and there is variable.
All right. Thank you very much, Eugene. And the question from Julie. On a quiz, if a user chooses an incorrect answer, can we have it branch back to the slide where the information was contained and have them go back to the same quiz number or quiz question after viewing this information?
Oh, thank you for this question. It's a really wonderful one because me as a technical support engineer, we are facing this question a lot of time. So the thing is that, of course, you can set branching, for example, here, this question. After it fails, you can redirect to the info slide. For example, the first one. You can redirect it, then you can go to this question, but this question will be already answered. So you can't take the second attempt. Only you can close the quiz and take it one more time. Only in this way. It is also it was also made in case to prevent cheating. This is it. Oh, for example, you can. This is a good question because I have an idea how to help this who has a problem with matching. I mean the feedback. You can always put an info slide after the matching question, and here you have a lot of place. You can type in match 1, item 1, match 1, for example, like this. And after this question will be failed, we can set the branching. For example, if the incorrect, we go to the info slide, this info slide 8.
Mhm.
The same for the partial, if you have so. And if it was correct, we just move to the next question. So after you fail this question,
Mhm.
you will be redirected to this info slide, where you can see all the right items and matches. Something like this. It will help you to provide with feedback.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
And the feedback with more size for this feedback.
Mhm. Okay, and there was another question from Ollie. Is there a way to bulk load a lot of questions into Quizmaker at the same time using something like an Excel spreadsheet?
Okay, it's a good question. So of course you can import questions. We need to go to iSpring Quiz menu, click import questions. We can use the Quizmaker file. It's have it's like for example quiz.quiz.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also use Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So we can,
So it is possible?
yes, it is possible. We
Mm.
need to click on Browse,
Mm-hmm.
select our Excel file, then and we can rename it, and then click on Import. By the way, you can always read more about how to perform this on our website, iSpringSolutions.com. There is a wonderful support tab where you can select a product, for example, Quizmaker, go to the help docs,
Mm-hmm.
and these help docs made especially for people who are the beginner, and this also useful for pros who want to enlarge all the features and opportunities, to use all the opportunities of Quizmaker.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very
So there is
much.
mhm.
Uh-huh. Got you, Eugene. Thank you very much for sharing this information. All right, so it looks like we are way over our time that we I'm sorry, set for this webinar workshop. And I do have some of the questions that we didn't go over during the Q&A session. However, I will send all of them to Eugene, so he will take care of them. So guys, don't worry. He will be responding to them at his earliest convenience. And at this point, I would like to invite you to our next week's webinar, workshop, which will be dedicated to TalkMaster. That's supposed to be used for creating conversation simulations, and it will be conducted by Sophia next week. So let me share the link with you to this webinar. You are more than welcome. If you haven't, of course, signed up for it yet, I'm sharing the link right now. So you are more than welcome to attend it next week. And of course, if you have any feedback about how we can possibly enhance our workshops and webinars, we are very welcome. We are very open to receiving it. If it's good or bad, please share it, and we will definitely try to see how we can deliver the better content to our wonderful iSpringers. Thank you very much, guys, for being with us today and adding great value to this workshop. And thank you very much, Eugene, for presenting. I think you did a very great job for the first workshop in your life. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you very much for your attention. It was really interesting for me to share this workshop with you. If you have any questions, as I said, you can contact us by email, support@ispringsolutions.com, and sales@ispringsolutions.com. So we are always happy to help you and answer all your questions. So I wish you good luck in the next workshops and see you next time.
Thank you, Eugene, and thank you very much, Sophia, for taking care of the questions during the presentation.
Thank you very much for this workshop, Eugene. It was really interesting to answer all your questions, guys.
All right, so at this point, I will wrap up the webinar, and again I would like to mention that we will be sending the recording of the webinar as soon as it's ready, and also I will be sending the link to the resources one more time so that you guys can practice and repeat step by step all that's been shown on the screen. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next Tuesday at our next workshop. Bye bye, everyone.